Today I'm in New York City, in the Jewish neighborhood of Brooklyn. I have an appointment with Nissen Mengel, the rabbi of the local community. He was born in 1933 in Hungary and was deported to Auschwitz at just 10 and a half years old. He was one of the youngest survivors of the camp, where children were killed upon arrival.
Welcome.
Hello.
Welcome.
Hello,
nice to
Rabbi.
see you.
How are you?
Nice to meet you.
You teach every day?
Every day in the morning and in the evening, yes.
Wow.
That's what keeps me young.
You are young. I brought something to put in your tzedakah box. You'll show me after, or you want to
Yes,
show me now?
I can show it to you right now.
Show me right now. Ah, okay.
Always
Here you go.
good. Okay, very good.
That's like this. I don't come
Yeah.
empty-handed.
Good.
Nissen's parents are wealthy religious Jews. His father owns a women's hat factory and his mother runs a fabric shop.
I had a very, very happy childhood. My father traveled a lot. Every time he came back, bring a present for my mother, jewelry, present to the children.
Little Nissen leads a happy childhood until 1944, when his life turns upside down.
It was 7 o'clock in the morning, Friday morning. My mother, since it was Erev Shabbos, they knock on the door, and 7 SS and Gestapo march in. And they had a list, who lives in this apartment, this one, that apartment, yes. My father is there, my sister is there. Where is Mrs. Mengel? My father says, she's in the marketplace. So the Gestapo says, the chief Gestapo says to my sister, get dressed and go find your mother and bring her immediately. Fetch your mother. I said to the Gestapo, I want to go with my sister. So we went to the marketplace. And in the middle of the way, we see mother with 2 baskets full of merchandise, chicken, fish, and cake, and fruits, and all. She ran to mother, says, Ma, 7 SS and Gestapo came to our house. She became so nervous, so frightened, her hand. But she know what does it mean? Go to Auschwitz. So she says to us, let's run home. If Pa goes to Auschwitz, I want to go with him together. She didn't want to save us. Can you imagine?
In the meantime, his father has managed to bribe the Nazis, and they find themselves on the road.
So I immediately jumped as a child. Tati, how do you get out? Says, listen, now it's not the time to speak, let's run.
After a harrowing escape, the family flees to Slovakia, where they find a smuggler and disguise themselves as peasants.
On the way, a group of SS stopped us. Can you imagine, my heart was beating. They said, we know the Jews are smuggling themselves across the border. Do you know how they do it? Where do that? How they do it? Can you imagine, we are the Jews who are smuggling? They ask, how do you do it? My heart was beating, and I just looked at her back. They shouldn't see my face, with nervous. But anyways, she explained, says, please, when you find out, yes, we will let you know.
Once in Bratislava, they manage to hide in a luxurious house that shelters many Jews under false identities. But their respite is short-lived.
It was like 1 o'clock at night. Peter knock, and my father goes to the door, opens the door. Didn't have to ask anything. In this very expensive, exclusive neighborhood, people should sleep
On the floor.
immediately. They gave a punch to my father. My father go through the foyer, the hall, all the way to the dining room. They get dressed and took us.
The family is deported to Auschwitz. Nissen is only 10 and a half years old, but upon arrival, he's advised to lie about his age to have a better chance of passing the selection.
Came the selection. Who goes right, who goes left? Mengele was sitting always on a table, and he was chain smoking continuously. What he did, millions of Jews to the gas chamber, and he was like this, smoking. And this slum determined the fate of millions of Jews.
You live,
If he
you
turned
die.
left, gas chamber, right? Burke. This time my father says, "Listen, go behind. Maybe I'll be able somehow to manipulate that he won't notice it." I said, "Go, you know."
That a kid is
But
behind.
Mengele did notice it. He gets off from the table, comes over to me, and he asks me, "How old am I?" I said, 17.
From 10 and a half to 17.
I told him I'm 17 because I knew that if he started to laugh just like you laughed, he says, "Obwohl in Dutch, in German. Ich weiß, I know that you're not more than 11. I wasn't yet 11. Come with your father."
The whole family enters the camp, but they are separated. Neeson goes through the full shaving and the specific tattooing required in this camp.
Yes. I was 10 years old, 10 and a half years old. These Birkenau were 5 dash cabs.
Like every deportee, little Neeson is forced to work and endures severe mistreatment.
The capo comes over, looks in the barrel is completely empty. Without asking me why, he started to punch me, kick me. I fell down. Why did that work? I was so sick, I couldn't speak. He took me to the clinic. There was a doctor, and he saw how I feel, opened up my jacket, saw my chest, scarlet fever, very contagious, until you have a high fever. And I was like in delirium. I didn't know what's going on with me. So I was taken next day to Lager F. Lager F was where Mengele and other doctors make these medical experiments. There I saw a colony of over 100 dwarfs, Beards, Payers, Stremler, mamish, religious Jews. He made on them terrible experiments. So Mengele comes in, looks around and sees me. He says to the other doctors, "I'm going to make an experiment on him." I look at the eyes of Mengele, like I look into your eyes. They are screaming, "Experiments on monkeys, not on me." Experiments, I start to cry. I scream, "Experiments on monkey." You just can't imagine who was Mengele in Auschwitz. The biggest Gestapo generals were afraid of him. Like a little god. Mengele always had on his belt a revolver, a pistol. I was sure, in rage,
He was going to shoot you.
not to listen to Mengele. A Gestapo is yes, the general for the Gestapo. They do it. And they looked at each other like for a minute or two. This minute or two in such a times, like an hour. You know, you have tense, yes. They walked out.
Against all odds, Dr. Mengele, known as the Angel of Death, spares Neeson's life. Injured in the foot, he then faces the brutal death march alone.
So January, February, East Europe, very cold winter, very, very cold. I came to the conclusion I can't continue. I have no strength whatsoever. I can't continue. I might as well move out and I'll be shot. And as I made the decision to walk out, a young man comes over to me, and let me tell you, in this death match, nobody is speaking. So this person comes to speak with me. So I was astonished. What does come? So eventually speaks to me and tells me he comes from Košice just like I. No, don't do that. I'll help you. I said, "What can you help me?" He just left me. "What can you help?" She said to me, "You walk," and took my hand on his shoulder, over his head, and he slapped me. Carried me.
Carried you.
So that's what he did. Another 2 or 3 days. Afterwards, after 2 or 3 days, even my right foot, SS comes over to me. He said, "But I can't walk." He had on his belt a canteen. What a canteen is? A canteen,
Like
a bottle.
A small bottle, yeah.
Such a bottle, army bottle. And he takes it off from his belt, gives it to me. Sweet, hot, black coffee.
The SS gave it to you?
And listen, believe me, I felt like I'm being resurrected, revived. The hot, sweet coffee. My vein, every organ, I became rejuvenated. came to a particularly very high mountain, steep mountain, born in Germany, at suffering temperature. I felt my ears like a piece of ice. But I'm afraid I'll touch it, I'll break it off. So I tell him, listen, my ears are freezing. Well, what did he do? He took some SS cap, put it on my head, put it over my ears.
Wow.
I never saw this SS again.
Neeson manages to return to his home village, where he reunites with his mother and sister. His father will never come back. Many years later, Neeson, who had left Auschwitz on his own, returns. But this time, he's far from alone.
Here is the track, the rail tracks, on which 6 million Jews came to Auschwitz. I, my wife, and here my children, grandchildren, 100 people. Here we see the cattle coach, which came to Auschwitz. Came here, squeezed together. So I showed them this cattle coach, and then we started to sing a song. I composed a song. Do you understand Yiddish?
Yes.
Ich danke dir, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, für die Chasodim, wo du tust mit mir. Heute lad Hashem, ki toiv, ki loilam chazdoi. But if I survived Mengele, the angel of death, twice, in I went from Auschwitz to Germany, like from here to Mexico, without any food. Sub-freezing temperature. If I'm here now, is it natural? Sure. Compris?
Understood.
Okay?
Thank you. Thank you.